What if the most powerful healing system your body has ever encountered was not assembled in a research laboratory, was not patented by a corporation, did not come with a list of side effects printed in font too small to read? What if it was commissioned by a creator who understood human biology at a molecular level before the word molecule existed? We spend hundreds of billions every year trying to reverse damage that modern living inflicts on the human body. Heart disease, chronic inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, neurological decline. And the remarkable thing, the thing that stops me every time I sit with this material, is where modern science keeps arriving. It keeps arriving at the same preparations, the same plants, the same drinks described, commanded, and elevated in a text most of us have owned since childhood. Today we are examining 5 of them, not as religious symbols, as compounds, as mechanisms. As preparations that peer-reviewed journals and oncology departments are now studying with full scientific rigor. Stay through drink number 5, because what it does at the cellular level, and the moment in Scripture it appears, will permanently change how you read that passage. Drink number 1. Hyssop Tea. Psalm 51 verse 7. David at the lowest point of his life reaches for the most powerful image of cleansing he knows. Not water, not ceremonial washing. Hyssop. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. That was not poetic accident. Researchers examining hyssop with modern analytical tools found rosmarinic acid in concentrations ranking among the highest of any plant in the mint family. A study in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry identified rosmarinic acid as one of the most potent natural inhibitors of COX-2, the exact enzyme targeted by celecoxib and pharmaceutical anti-inflammatories. Without the cardiovascular risks those drugs carry long-term. God built purification language around a plant that actually purifies. Steep 1 teaspoon dried hyssop in hot water for 12 minutes. Drink before bed. Pharmaceutical-grade anti-inflammatory intervention. Less than $1 a week. Drink number 2. Olive leaf tea. The olive tree appears over 500 times in Scripture. Its oil anointed kings. Its branch signaled the flood had ended. Ezekiel 47 verse 12 states it directly. Their leaves will be for healing. Not the oil, the leaves. The ancient world reached for olive leaves during illness because generations of observation had proven they worked differently than the oil. Researchers identified oleuropein as the primary active agent. Studies confirmed antiviral activity against influenza A and B and herpes simplex, with the mechanism being direct interference with a virus's ability to replicate and enter healthy cells. The people of the biblical world were not guessing. They were observing. Steep 1 tablespoon dried olive leaves in boiling water for 15 full minutes. Do not rush it. Drink 2 cups during illness. 1 cup daily is ongoing practice. Drink number 3. Pomegranate Juice. Song of Solomon 8 verse 2. The beloved says she would give her love the juice of her pomegranates. Not the fruit, the juice. A deliberate pressed preparation worth making and worth offering. That distinction matters clinically. A study published in Clinical Nutrition followed patients with severe carotid artery stenosis over 3 years. The group drinking pomegranate juice daily saw arterial plaque reduced by over 30%. The control group's plaque increased by 9% over the same period. 30% reduction versus 9% increase. From a juice. Researchers at UCLA documenting pomegranate's effects on prostate cancer described results as among the most promising dietary interventions they had examined. Press seeds fresh. Drink immediately. 4 to 8 ounces daily. The beloved understood what she was offering. The science now explains why. If this is already shifting how you understand Scripture and your body, subscribe right now and tap the bell. Every week on Biblical Nutrition Secrets, we go exactly this deep. The convergence between ancient wisdom and modern science is not coincidence. Do not miss drink number 5. Drink number 4, barley water. Ruth chapter 2 takes place entirely in a barley field. The timing of the entire book anchors to the barley harvest. When Boaz fills Ruth's shawl with 6 measures of barley, it is not an afterthought. Barley was currency. Barley was survival. And the water left after barley was simmered was one of the most consistently therapeutic preparations across the entire ancient Near East. Beta-glucan, which barley contains in higher concentrations than any other grain, leaches into cooking water in significant quantities. The FDA has approved an official health claim for beta-glucan on food labels. a standard requiring genuinely robust evidentiary support. Researchers at Memorial Sloan Kettering studying beta-glucan's immune activation described it as one of the most elegant natural immune training compounds currently under investigation. Simmer 2 tablespoons pearl barley in 4 cups water for 30 minutes. Strain. Add lemon and raw honey. The liquid left behind is not waste. It is where the medicine went. Drink number 5, bone broth. Judges chapter 6. The angel of the Lord visits Gideon hiding from the Midianites. Gideon prepares a meal. A young goat, unleavened bread, and the broth, poured out deliberately as part of the offering. The broth is named specifically. In a moment of divine encounter, the broth is presented as something worthy of the occasion. The ancient world understood what modern gastroenterology spent decades confirming. The liquid from long, slow simmering of bones and connective tissue is not the byproduct of making food. It is the point. Glycine from bone broth is the primary precursor to glutathione, your body's master internal antioxidant. You cannot produce adequate glutathione without adequate glycine. A clinical trial published in Sleep and Biological Rhythms found 3 grams of glycine before bed improved next-day cognitive performance and alertness even in sleep-deprived subjects. Simmer bones with connective tissue in filtered water with a splash of apple cider vinegar for minimum 12 hours. The acid draws minerals out of the bone matrix more completely. Drink 1 cup each morning on an empty stomach. Gideon poured broth before the angel of the Lord, and fire consumed it. What he was honoring was something his entire culture understood to be precious. The long-cooked liquid from bones was never the leftover. It was the gift. 5 drinks. Hyssop tea, olive leaf tea, pomegranate juice, barley water, bone broth. Every one described or elevated in Scripture. Every one now confirmed in peer-reviewed research, in oncology departments, cardiovascular medicine, gastroenterology, immunology, arriving at the same conclusions through completely different methodologies from the people who first described them thousands of years ago. What stops me every time I sit with this material is the precision. It is not that the Bible happened to mention a few things that turned out to be healthy. It is that the things it elevates as symbols of covenant and divine provision are the exact preparations that the most rigorous science ever produced is identifying as the most powerful healing interventions on earth. That does not feel like coincidence. It feels like design. Start with 1 drink this week. Brew hyssop tea tonight. Press a pomegranate tomorrow morning. Simmer bones on Sunday. These are not dramatic interventions. They are small, deliberate acts of honoring a body designed by a creator who understood your biology before any laboratory existed to explain it. He planted the medicine. He described it. He never stopped caring about the temple he built for you. Share this right now with someone who is fighting for their health and does not know where to turn. Hit like, subscribe, tap the bell. New revelation every week on biblical nutrition secrets. May the God who designed every cell in your body give you the wisdom to honor the temple he built specifically and lovingly for you. God bless you.